Hello everybody. Behind me is the beautiful island of Koh Samet. This is one of Thailand's most beautiful and most popular islands because it's so close to Bangkok. If you were to take a minivan from Bangkok and then get the speedboat over here, it would take you about 2.5 hours. So it's really close to the big city of Bangkok, hence why it's so popular. Just look at the color of this water, guys. It is absolutely beautiful. Just been spending a few days here already and I absolutely love this place. It's so beautiful. It ticks so many boxes. If you've got families, this is a good island for you. If you like beautiful beaches, this is a great island for you. If you like parties and bars and things to do and see in the evening, this is the island for you. And if you like quiet hidden gems with bays where there's only a few little places to stay, it's got that in abundance as well. Like, I can't actually get over this place. So sit down and relax, and let's see if... Is it Thailand's best island? Long-term subscribers of this channel might have typed in Paddy, Doyle, Koh Samet and realised that there isn't a video about this place, and that's because I've never been here before. So stick around and let's enjoy paradise together. My aim is to have loads of travel tips for you when it comes to Koh Samet. So let's begin by getting to the island itself because it was a little bit complicated. Okay, let the fun commence because quite a lot of hustle going on in this town already. So look, when you approach the pier itself, you'll see that there are actually loads of piers, and this whole town is the entrance point to Koh Samet, and so there are lots of speedboat companies, and if you want to take a speedboat and get there in 10 minutes, by all means do that option. There are loads of touts, and as I was coming in on Zelda, they were shouting at me, they were holding signs, standing in the way of the road, and I turned right because I knew that I wasn't going to get a speedboat. I wanted to take the cheap slow boat because it's not far. It's not far at all, and I just want a relaxing, cheap journey today. And as I drove past, right, another guy came on a motorcycle, a tout, and he was driving alongside me saying, "Speedboat, come with me to speedboat." And I'm like, "No, thank you." And he wouldn't stop it. And I was like, actually driving my motorcycle through traffic, and I had to turn my head to say, in not the most polite way, "No, thank you. Please leave me alone." So these guys, these speedboat touts, they obviously work on commission and they are hustling. So just go with them if you just want to go on a speedboat. But if you want to go slowly and cheaply, come to the location in the description, come to this pier. It cost me 120 baht for a return ticket and then an extra 30 baht to park my motorcycle here. There are parking spots for cars and trucks as well. That'll be a bit more, but mine's very reasonable. Unfortunately, they won't allow me to take Zelda on, and they're definitely not going to let me on the speedboat. So Zelda, my motorcycle, will have to sit this one out, unfortunately. I really recommend the slow boat, guys. It's very relaxing, especially at the front of the boat, away from the engine. Nice and quiet, peaceful, calm ocean, nice breeze. And we'll be there in, I think it's going to take about 35 minutes. And, you know, I can't check in till 2 o'clock anyway, so I don't see the rush of getting a speedboat over here at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. You still can't really check in and do much. So just take your time. And it's much more affordable like this. And so after a delightful 30 to 45 minute journey, we were arriving at the pier and we were going to receive a very unique welcome. Don't look, don't look. I've been to a lot of islands obviously, but never had such an epic welcome. It's such a beautiful piece of artwork. I think it's made of brass, but in the light it looks gold and it's shimmering. What a beautiful way to enter an island. Look, I can see that this is quite usual as well. Basically, you'll find this a lot in Thailand. The entry point to most islands is always the most ugly part of the island. Obviously, this is the hub of transport and goods from the mainland, food, drink, all sorts of stuff, building material. So these entry points are normally the ugliest part. So don't always judge a place by the first 5 minutes, but so far I'm really loving it. But I am going to try and find some lunch because I'm so hungry, and then we'll try and rent a motorbike or some kind of transport and head to our hotel, and then we'll really get stuck into exploring this island. But first impressions, very cool. Okay, that was quite a chaotic entrance to the island. You have to pay a national park fee, and it's 200 baht if you're a foreigner. That's fair enough, but it's cash only. And so I was a bit stuck because I didn't have any cash on me, and I said, oh, where's the ATM? I'll just get some money out. There's no ATM on this island. You have to bring cash with you. I have no cash on me. Because I live here and I have a Thai bank, it's really easy to transfer money to people using a QR code. So some lady, I transferred her 1,200 and she just gave me the cash. So I got my ticket, and I'm now here on the island safely, but I don't have any money. So I'm hoping that everywhere will be like normal, which is you can just pay on your phone. So yeah, as you can see, you know, you've got 7-Eleven, you've got the little restaurant, there's a cafe, Amazon, and there's a bit of a cluster situation here, which is quite normal. So when you arrive on this island, don't judge it by this, because I'm sure it's going to get way better. Bring cash, especially if you're a foreigner and you don't have a Thai bank account. You will be absolutely screwed, I would imagine, if you don't actually have physical cash. And bring more than what you think you need, because you never know. People tell me all the time, Paddy, you need to do more research before you go to places, but with Koh Samet being so popular and so close to Bangkok, and this busy just getting here, I just assumed that there would be at least 1 or 2 ATMs on the island, but hey, not a single ATM on the island, guys. Don't believe anything you read on blog posts. They used to have ATMs here, but not anymore. Speaking of which, after I had a delicious pakapao, I spent 400 baht on a motorcycle rental right next to the pier, and I made my way up towards my hotel and got my first exploration, my first impressions of this beautiful island. Okay, we're in business. We have a little scooter. It looks like it's seen better days, but the 2 ladies who rented me it seemed lovely. Okay, first impressions. I'm just driving around on the little motorbike trying to figure out where my beach is. It's quite difficult to sort of navigate when you first arrive because it's not very well signposted, and it's quite busy and it's quite tight and it's quite on top of itself. But you'll figure it out, just like I've struggled to do. It's high tide and it's a beautiful day. It's a bit windy, but beautiful and chaotic arrival so far. I'm also hoping that my beach is quieter than the 2 or 3 I've driven past, because it seems packed. It's definitely giving me holiday vibes, vacation mode activated, and it's also quite laid back. I mean, look, this is the main road. Very small. We're not on Koh Samui anymore. There are also these green buses. Once they're full, they go. I looked into it, 40 to 70 baht per journey. So it was just cheaper to get this motorcycle. 400 baht a day, and I can go wherever I want, however many times I want. Okay, welcome to my very simple abode. Now, it wasn't actually that cheap. This is how much I paid per night, and I'm here for 2 nights. Normally, like to stay in slightly nicer places than this. It's good for the video, and it's useful for people who are looking for, you know, nice, beautiful stays. But there's quite limited options on Koh Samet. The resort looks good. Let's go have a walk around, explore. I'm just going to quickly unpack, have a shave, and get into my beach attire. Thanks to the hotel's beachfront location, it was a few steps before we were on the sand, and the beach was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I was totally blown away. And so if you are looking for a mid-tier hotel or a resort on this island, I will link it in the description. I think for $85 a night with breakfast included, it's not bad considering the incredible location. Well, I have to say I'm quite blown away. This is absolute tropical paradise. And I had absolutely no idea that Koh Samet had this level of beach. You know, this textbook white sand, turquoise, calm sea, tropical Thailand paradise vibes. I mean, I don't know why I've never come here. I just never really thought it was this beautiful. But I stand corrected. So yeah, I was very happy with my resort's location on this beach. This little beach is called Ao Cho, and it's easily recognizable by this dodgy wooden pier that goes out in the middle of the beach itself. And so once I'd walked up and down the beach and got my bearings a little bit, I decided to brave the pier, walk to the end and see if I could get a good bird's eye view using the drone. I am absolutely blown away by this little beach, and I had these big plans today to go on a big scooter adventure. But I think I'll save that for tomorrow because the vibe at the beach where my hotel is just right. It's got the best sand I've seen in a long time. The sea feels lovely. It's high tide. There are 3 or 4 reggae bars right behind me, all with nice shade, cool music, good food, shakes, beers, cocktails, coconuts. Everyone's just laid back, relaxing. It really is a vibe here. So I think I'm just gonna park up shop and just get in touch with the tropical reggae vibes at the beach, and maybe we'll go adventure in the afternoon. We've still got 4 or 5 hours before sunset, so normally I run around like a blue-ass fly trying to show you everything, but maybe we'll just let that wait for tomorrow because I've got 3 days here, so plenty of time to explore. It's quite a small island, so yeah. Honestly, for how many people are on this beach, because it is quite busy, right? There is not one piece of trash. There is not one piece of plastic. There was not one piece of a plastic bag or a Coke bottle or anything like that. This is pristine. It's pristine. I'm so taken back. Like I said before, you can see that there are some really nice rooms, but this is actually not part of my resort. It's part of the other resort. I think it's like a brother and sister, same company, and they share the same beach. But it's called Grand View. I'll try and find a link and put it in the description if you want to book that particular room, because that would be prime. The fact that I've been living in Thailand all these years and never been to this island is just absolutely outrageous. And so I apologise immensely to anyone who's been searching over the years to find my video on Koh Samet, to find out what it's like before you came. It's my bad. I just absolutely can't believe how beautiful it is here. And it was at this point, whilst I was having some pina coladas, relaxing on this plastic deck chair with this beautiful stray dog who kept me company, that I met some subscribers who also complained that they couldn't find a video about Koh Samet on my channel. And since they had been actually on this island for over a week, they told me there was a cool little hike from our beach up and around a few other little quieter beaches, and they said that there was a restaurant there that served even better, more delicious pina coladas than the ones that I was currently drinking. So how could I not take them up on this opportunity to investigate further? These guys are taking me on an adventure. Wow, what a spot. So these guys, they've been here for like 6 days, and they just told me that you can walk from beach to beach. There is a trail that goes all the way along the coast, because they didn't rent a motorbike. So I said, how do you get around? And they said, oh, we just follow the coast and we walk and we find all these little beaches. That's really cool, really unique. And as you can see, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, this beach is, you couldn't get more different to the one that I'm staying at. I mean, this is really, really a throwback to what Thailand beach cabins used to be. What a vibe. It's 2025 and there's still places like this in Thailand. Don't you worry. Super cool couple, by the way, from Malta. And I was just sat there enjoying my little drink on the beach, and he just plonked a little small Singer beer down next to me, and he said, "Cheers, Paddy." And I looked up, I was like, "Oh." And we had a little chat. One beer turned into one pina colada, turned into two pina coladas, turned into, "Do you want to come on a little hike to another bar that does even better pina coladas?" And I said, I think I might make a video called "I Tried the Top 10 Pina Coladas in Koh Samet." Wow. Guys, the sand is so fine. It feels like powder. It feels like makeup or something. Not like I know what that feels like, but oh my God, it's so fine. This is a completely different vibe to what I thought Koh Samet was going to be. I get seasick. I read a lot of really bad reviews about this island on Google. I read people saying that it was just full of Russians and full of the Chinese. And that was literally my first impression, to be honest, especially getting the bike and driving through the town. There is a very central hub of hotels and activity and people. And I thought, okay, this hasn't really got that Thai feeling. It's a bit of a Phuket vibe. But I quickly kept on going, right? And then we got to the hotel, and yeah, it's such a destination for tourism. Of course it is. But in that short walk, and I can't wait to explore the island more depth tomorrow, it's absolutely beautiful. And my friends that I've just been with for the last 2 hours chatting away, they've told me about incredible beaches and this way and incredible beaches that way, which I'll check out tomorrow. Some of the best sand they've ever said they've experienced in Thailand is on this beach. And this is one of the closest beaches, one of the closest islands to Bangkok, hence why it is so popular with people who are coming on a 2-week trip. It's easy to get to, you know, you've just flown all the way across the world. You get to Bangkok. How much further do you want to go to get to paradise? Well, this is the nearest one, hence why I think it is quite touristy. But the no ATM situation threw me a little bit. But apart from that, this place is getting a big thumbs up from me.
Yeah.
That's for me. Thank you.
Wow,
look at that. Come and cap. Woo! I've quickly learnt and quickly realised that this island seems to have two sides to it. The touristy side, where people are here to take pictures with the water and the beach and go on a boat trip and then go back to Bangkok and catch their flight home after a lovely week on the coast of a beautiful tropical island. And then there are hidden gems, there are quiet little bays all along the coastline with beach bungalows and quiet little restaurants and beaches that are only really accessible by foot or a very uncomfortable bumpy ride anyway. And you know, non-pretentious island, non-pretentious beaches, but immaculate. I mean, every single beach that I've walked along today, I haven't seen one piece of trash, one plastic fragment. It's spotless, which is mind-blowing. But I feel like accidentally we've only discovered that half of the island, the untouched, quiet side. But I do need to give a full picture. So what we're going to do is, in the distance over yonder is a long stretch of beach, and that's where I can see neon lights and all kinds of craziness, and that's where the fire shows are, that's where the tourists are, that's where it's all happening and bustling. And I feel like if we're going to document our time on Koh Samet, if we're going to say it is or it isn't the best island in Thailand, then we need to go have a look at that as well, because it's only correct to do so. Quick question, do you need a beautiful website for your online business? If the answer is yes, then my channel sponsor Squarespace have got you covered. Squarespace is the easiest, best place to build a professional looking website. I build mine on there as well. My website's called paddydoyle.info, and I just chose one of their award-winning templates, and I then amended the text and the videos and added my own blog posts and things. And I can start selling products, I can start selling services, and if you have a restaurant or if you have a membership or a course you want to sell, everything you can imagine you can do on Squarespace. And of course, Squarespace are utilizing the power of AI. They've built their own version, which is called Design Intelligence, and basically all you do is you answer a few questions about your website, what you want it to look like, who's it for, and the AI, Design Intelligence, will actually build the website for you, saving you hours and hundreds of dollars in the process. And Squarespace have a great app, so you can always amend and update your website when you're on the move, which is great for people like me. So visit Squarespace by clicking the link in the description and build the website completely for free. But when you're ready to go live, hit the link in the description or go to squarespace.com/Paddy Doyle and you'll get 10% off your first website or domain. So, with our plan to investigate the other side of the island in action, I walked back over the rocks towards my beach where I was staying, where it was now sunset and getting dark. A quick shower and a motorbike ride up to the main town later. It was time to have a beer and have a dinner in the area where most of the tourists and visitors of this island are based. Alright, so the main area of the island is it's an interesting, vibrant place, very busy. This is where everybody is. You've got the high street basically with two 7-Elevens opposite each other and a bunch of restaurants and places to eat. There's a whole hawker centre with hundreds of places to order food from. It looks like something out of Singapore, and that's packed. Couldn't find anywhere to sit there. I was recommended to go try banana bar for food, and I walked in and the food smelled so delicious, but it was full, so I couldn't find a place to sit. And I just had a little walk up and down the high street for a while. It's quite nice. You've got the juxtaposition of like mom and pop shops and places to buy your local fruit and veg. So it has a local feel, but then you're surrounded by all the touristy stuff as well, so it's quite interesting. So in the end, I just decided to walk back to the beach, and here they've set up tables and chairs, and there's like restaurant after restaurant after restaurant. And there are people doing fire shows, there are people selling all sorts of food, and it's a bit more pricey obviously, but I just ordered some simple Thai food, a Thai omelette, pak kapow, and a little bit of spring rolls to go with my cold beer, and I'm just going to sit here and see what happens and see what unfolds. It's very touristy obviously at this side of the island, but yeah, Koh Samet, who knew? So my first day on Koh Samet had been a roaring success, and I was so glad to have finally come to this incredible island. After dinner, I had an early night because the next day was going to be my full exploration day. I was going to jump on my rental motorbike and head to the southernmost tip of the island. Morning. Let's go explore. And then turn around and make our way back up north, beach by beach, cove by cove, and explore the island in full to get a much more broader perspective of this island in its entirety before I can finally give you my recommendations of what I think of this island and where I think you should stay. For such a popular island, right, this is the main road. This is the road that links the pier to the tip of the island. This is the main road that links all of the hotels, all of the resorts, the main town square, the high street. And this is where you'll see tourists like me on little scooters. And this is where you'll see the green BART buses whizzing past, taking people up and down the island. I did read a few things online saying that Koh Samet had lost its magic the second they finished paving this road, because it used to be a sandy, dusty track, and that gave the island a much more rustic, authentic feel. But I would not want to be driving up around this island on this crappy little bike on sandy, dusty roads. I'm glad they've built this road. It's still pretty crap, but it's decent enough. Okay, I thought we would begin by driving to the national park at the very tip of the island and sort of make our way north from here. So let's go have a little explore of the southernmost point and then work our way up and see what we can find. This is obviously the most southern point of the island. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is definitely one of my favorite parts of the island so far, and that's because it's just, look at it, it's just so beautiful. These rocks that go into the sea, there's beautiful turquoise waters, and there's hardly anybody here. There's a little family over there enjoying the rocks formations and taking nice pictures. There's a nice walkway through this is actually part of the national park, which I thought I would have to pay an extra fee for. But, you know, we paid 200 baht at the beginning, so I think that obviously includes the whole island as a national park, really, right? So that's why we don't have to pay again to do this sort of nature trail. And there's one lonely snorkeler out there enjoying what looks to be an absolutely insane day out in the sea. And I can just only imagine how gorgeous it must be. This is the most inviting water I've seen on this trip. It just looks like it's screaming to me to go and swim and just to explore. But I don't have a snorkel, so that's a big fail. But I just wanted to come down here and kind of document the southernmost tip, and then we can start making our way back up and see exactly which is the best place to hang out, so that I can hang out here tomorrow. I honestly regret only booking 2 nights here, and then I have another adventure planned in a couple of days, so I need to get moving and get on to the next place, which is going to be even more beautiful than this apparently. But I am a bit gutted. I'll definitely be coming back to Koh Samet numerous times. I'll bring my girlfriend, I'll bring my friends. This is such a spot, and it's really convenient. It's so close to Bangkok, right? So whew, so glad I finally came here. Okie dokie, first stop on the way up north is a beach called Ao Wai. Absolutely textbook paradise. Still in shock every time I see this colour of water, this quality of sand, and this few people, really, for an island so close to Bangkok. I keep saying it, but really, no wonder this place is so popular. There's a coffee shop here, there's a restaurant here, there's lots of shade under these gorgeous, I think they're olive trees, I'm not quite sure. They're actually coming out of the sand, so they must grow their roots under the beach, which is, I've never seen that before. And then you've got absolute paradise, turquoise waters, soft white sand, a little swing, and a grandma playing under the shade. And plenty of space, and it's not noisy, and it's quiet, and it's chilled. Just around the corner from that beautiful beach is a little lookout point, a little viewpoint. You can see it from the side of the road. There are some umbrellas and some shaded areas. And then there's this nice little rock viewpoint. And this time of year, I'm filming this at the end of January. No wind, no rain, just stillness. The only fair thing to do now at this point would be to revisit the main town, revisit the main beach, because that's where it's going to be really busy. But I also heard that that's one of the nicest beaches, so It's not all pristine, quiet, hidden bays and gorgeous, peaceful lookout points. It's probably also a bit of a carnage, a bit of a touristy, overrun place in areas. So I think, like I said last night, to give Koh Samet the broader, full picture, let's go check out that area. This would be where I would come to snorkel. Make your way down there, into the ocean, swim up, swim around, swim along. And when you're ready, come back up, get back on your bike. For me, this is the most important part of the video because this is the main town, this is the hub, this is the biggest, most popular area of the island with the longest stretch of sand, the most restaurants, the most hotels, and it's just a stone's throw from the pier itself. So, this is absolutely carnage, guys. This is a really packed, overcrowded, touristy part of the island, and a huge portion of people who come to Koh Samet probably only see this side of the island. Okie dokie, here we are. Completely different vibe immediately. We've got parasailing, scuba diving, jet ski, banana boats. Oh wow. Very different here, very different here. Especially around 10, 11 in the morning, all of the group tours from Bangkok who bring coach loads of tourists on day trips arrive from Bangkok at the pier. They all get on their speedboat, they all arrive on Koh Samet, and they all get ferried to this beach. They have their seafood buffet, they take their pictures, they go paragliding, they go jet skiing, they spend a few hours, and then they go back on the jet ski, back on the coach, back to Bangkok. And for that reason, if you only visited this part of Koh Samet, you would probably hate it here. So now I'm glad that I came here so we can see the difference. And what a difference a couple of kilometers makes. This is more the Koh Samet I was expecting. You know, a long stretch of beautiful white sand and a gorgeous coastline. But this is where 95% of the people on this island are hanging out. You've got all of the tourists from all over the world, but the majority, I would say, you could cut a line down the middle. Eastern European, Russian, and Chinese, Vietnamese. Hardly any Thai people, especially right now, it's the middle of the day. They don't really like to be in the sun. If they are here, they're having their lunch in the shade somewhere. Lots of families, lots of kids, lots of couples, lots of backpackers, playing water sports, racquetball, football, throwing a frisbee, enjoying the water sports, enjoying lying in the sun, enjoying the shade of all of the 20, 30 different beach clubs and restaurants that have different colour umbrellas and bean bags and areas to sit in the shade, have cold beers, get lots of food. This is the Koh Samet I was expecting. You know, a touristy place close to Bangkok and so beautiful. This is why Samet was never really top of my list to come here, because this is why I envisioned it to be like beautiful but developed and busy. I like to find more of the hidden gems. Of course, we've been to Phuket, we've been to Koh Samui, we've been to all of the big hitters in Thailand, but I've always avoided this one, partly because I thought it would just be like this everywhere, but as we've seen in this video, it's not like this everywhere. This is really beautiful, by the way. I'm not talking about this particular beach. It's just not where I would come. But if you're a family, if you're looking for convenience, this is really near the pier. This is a really long stretch of sand. You've got food, drink, music. It's all kicking off. So this might be your vibe. So far I'd seen about 4 or 5 different beaches, and that's not all of them, but that was enough for me on my day of exploration. I think that I'd figured out that my favorite beach was actually back at where my resort was. So I decided to just head back, grab some lunch, have a power nap, and just escape the hottest part of the day for a few hours.
Then my plan was to just relax and have a few more pina coladas, but the wind was really picking up and it meant that the sea was quite rough. So I figured if I jumped on my scooter, we could head to the only beach on the west coast for two reasons. One, to escape the wind, and secondly, to enjoy a sunset at the beach, which you can only enjoy from the other side of the island, obviously.
Before you reach the sunset side of the island, there's a little motorcycle car park and you have to park and then walk down, which is fair enough, but you can see already like not a gust of wind on this side, so good idea, Paddy Doyle. Beautiful little spot. There's also this super long floating pier, which I think would be epic for the sunset. We will definitely be getting a nice cold beer at sunset, so we've got quite a long time till then.
This beach on the west coast was absolutely phenomenal. There was about 2 or 3 4-star resorts, which looked really nice, and then a few other little guest house type places that looked a bit cheaper. But overall, this bay was a lot more sheltered from the wind, very quiet, and it was the perfect place to just sit down and relax and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. There was about 3 or 4 places to sit, eat, or drink. I found this particular place because they had pina coladas on the menu, and it just felt rude not to. And this is where I set up shop, to be honest, for the next 4 hours, just relaxing, listening to my audiobook, drinking a few cocktails, soaking up the views, and just going for a dip in the sea whenever I got too hot. Just pure paradise. They have paddle boards and kayaks for rent here as well, and you could really just spend the whole day here. You could easily, happily relax and unwind a few nights on this side of the island. I bumped into some subscribers actually from Switzerland who were staying on this side of the island, and they really loved it here. And so Koh Samet was showing a new side to the island, a much more relaxed, quieter, a bit more luxurious side. The sunset was beautiful, although the sun did go behind a storm cloud at the end, just before it was about to sink into the horizon. But with those clouds brought colours and just a beautiful sunset, absolutely gorgeous. And so that was the perfect ending to a great few days on the island. I had another lovely dinner and a few beers with some friends in the town before waking up, getting ready to unpack and get off the island and get to our next destination. But before I do, I wanted to wrap up this experience and give you some final recommendations for this island.
Is Koh Samet Thailand's best island? It's certainly up there. If you're a family and you're looking for convenience, you can come here because it's near to Bangkok and it's beautiful. And if you're looking for serenity, if you're looking for peace and quiet away from the crowds, you can also come here because when you arrive at the pier, it will feel chaotic, it will feel claustrophobic, but just like you've seen in this video, explore. The only big issue, guys, and we talked about this at the beginning of the video and throughout a little bit, is there are no ATMs on the island. So you might have read some old misinformation. There used to be ATMs and now there aren't any. And I think, you know, the locals probably removed them to help generate a little bit of extra income, because if you have cash, you're fine. If you have a Thai bank account, you're fine. But if you don't, and you don't have cash, then you're going to be paying everything on card. and there's a 5%, 3% charge on that. And if you do want to get cash, the services on the island will charge you 5%. But apart from that, Koh Samet, I'll be back. I love you. This place is incredible. You're so close to Bangkok. You're very convenient. You're very beautiful. You're very rustic. And you should definitely come here, guys. Don't overlook it like I've done for all of these years. All of these years, I've just overlooked Koh Samet. But I'll be back. Is it Thailand's best island? Maybe.